Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon, and today I'm going to be going back to a game I have already covered. This is Ultra Tiny Epic Galaxies, but the rules apply to Tiny Epic Galaxies. The rules are the same. This is just the Ultra Tiny version that I happen to have, and a viewer had requested that I cover the expansion rules, which the expansion for Tiny Epic Galaxies is called Satellites and Super Weapons. So what we have added here are, you can see over here, there's a stack of super weapons next to our planet stack, and I have dealt one out into our planet row. So this one just happens to be called Chaos Star. And its super weapon ability is, if you can add a satellite to it, you can steal up to 2 resources from another player. So, technically, the rules state that this cannot be used in solo play, but I don't see why not, why you couldn't just throw it in there. You just have to give some rules to the AI player for how they manage their satellites and whether or not they go after a super weapon or not. So I'm going to cover the rules, and then I'll just let you know what I'm going to do to incorporate the solo AI into the expansion. So essentially, you have 2 things that have been added into the game with this expansion. One is satellites. And you can see here that they are on my card set up so that as I expand my empire, I will earn a satellite die. So kind of in between the ships now. So the first time I upgrade, I'll gain a satellite die, then I'll gain a ship, then I'll gain a satellite die, then a ship, and then a satellite die. The directions say that as soon as you acquire a satellite die, you should take it and add it to one of the planets. So you're essentially like sending it up into orbit onto one of the 3 planets that is available, and it's your choice where you want to put it. And then the trick is that anytime you colonize a planet, and so you make it your own, you will get those satellites, and you actually get to put them on your card to then use on the super weapons. So as soon as I upgrade my empire, I will take this satellite die, and I won't put it on my player board anywhere. I'll put it on one of these planets, and then hopefully I have put it on a planet that I'm going to acquire, so that when I get this planet, I also gain this satellite, and then it goes onto my card. Then, at any point in time, you don't have to roll anything special. If it's your turn, you can spend a satellite and put it onto the super weapon. In this case, I would put it on the super weapon, and I would steal up to 2 resources from another player. So I think this is where the solo AI kind of makes it a little tricky, because you would have to decide, what resources they would take and things like that. So I personally feel like the Empire would much rather have the energy versus the culture resource. So for example, this one, I would say that as soon as they acquire a satellite, on their next turn, they're going to put it on a super weapon, and then they're going to attempt to steal 2 energy. If not, then energy and culture mix. If not, then 2 culture. And they would not use it if I have 0 resources to offer. But if I have at least 1 resource to give, then they would spend it on their next turn. Also, in a solo game, you only ever have 3 planets out, because you play with this number of players plus 1 planet. And the AI always gets 4 ships. So this gives the AI a 4th spot to land their ship. So the super weapon, I guess you could debate as to where the super weapon should go in the order here, but when you're playing against the solo AI, they always land on the 1st planet, and then their 2nd ship always goes here, 3rd and 4th. So if there's ever an opening to the left, they hit that one. So you could make the argument that they're rarely ever going to go after the super weapon, but the super weapon doesn't necessarily gain you many more points than the planets. The planets actually are going to get you more points. When you claim a super weapon, so you would land your ship here, and then using either of the two economy or diplomacy advancements, so they're kind of like a wild card, you can advance to the end and you destroy the super weapon. So instead of colonizing the planet, you destroy the super weapon, you get it out of the way, and you get 2 victory points towards the end of the game. You also get a resource, an energy resource per satellite that's on the card. So if you let people build up, if you're playing a multiplayer game and you let a lot of people build up and use the card and then you swoop in and destroy it, you can not only get 2 victory points, but you can get lots of energy. So the rules that I'm going to play with here are that I'm going to say that the AI is going to continue to land on the planets in the order. So the 4th place it will ever go, and it's only if it ever has 4 ships out there, will be to destroy the super weapon that is out, because it's really not the most optimal victory point thing for it to take. But it will pick up its cube the first time it colonizes, and then the third time it upgrades. And I'm going to say that it's going to put a satellite on whatever planet it has the furthest or the most influence on currently. So if it has a ship on a planet and is furthest down the track, further than me, or the furthest number down, that's the planet it's going to put the satellite on, because it's going to want to claim that satellite back for its own, so then it could use it on the super weapon. If for some reason there is a tie, or it does not have any ships out with any influence on the colonies, I'm just going to put it on the leftmost one that doesn't already have a satellite on it. So if it happens to upgrade rather quickly and puts one here, and then it either doesn't have ships or they're tied, it'll put one here. And it only has, I've only given it 2 satellites for now, because rarely do I get to the point where it's you know, if it gets all the way up here, I lose the game instantly. So there is an opportunity for me to get a 3rd satellite, but I doubt that's going to happen. So this is kind of a very minor thing that's being added to the game. This isn't going to have a huge impact on the game. But there again, essentially anytime I can land on the super weapon as if I landed on a planet, I can spend either diplomacy or economy to move my ship, and then I get 2 points for destroying that towards the end game. Also, if for some reason you don't ever you claim a satellite from colonizing a planet and it's just sitting on your card, you decided never to play it on a super weapon, it's 1 VP at the end of the game, but it cannot count towards the end game condition. So it can only give you like a bonus point towards surpassing the other players. That's a little fiddly in my opinion, but any leftover satellites at the end of the game after someone else or you has reached the 20 VP limit, then you can count the satellites as an extra bonus point. So I'll go ahead and get started. We'll play a couple rounds, if not a whole game here, and you guys can just kind of see how this might work. And also, if you haven't watched my other solo video of Tiny Epic Galaxies, then you can learn how the solo AI plays. So I get to go first, and I will be starting with 4 dice. Again, I recommend having a hard surface. I think the dice bounce really well on a hard surface, so I have this box that I use as a dice tray, and it also contains them, because you can see that if I drop them on my neoprene mat here, they just kind of go everywhere. They really bounce super much on a neoprene mat if you kind of drop them. Well, that was a bad example, that one. But if you roll them, they don't quite get the same effect. I don't think that these roll as well as they work just dropping them and bouncing them. So I'm just going to kind of drop them into my board up here, and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so I get 4 dice to start off with, and I roll mine all at once. So I do kind of shake mine up and chuck them in here. When you're rolling multiple dice, it feels a little better. It feels silly though, rolling just a single one of these cubes. So let's see here. I do get 1 reroll. So let's see here. Okay, so I probably do want to go ahead and take off with a ship. I don't know if I need culture right now. I've got at least 1 that I can use to follow an action. Energy is pretty useful, and I don't know if whoops, this should be down here. So I need to spend 2 energy to go ahead and upgrade my my empire. So these dice actually aren't that bad right off the bat. So I am going to go ahead and use this to take off one of my ships. And let's see, which one do I want to go after first? I do like to just kind of go after the big ones. Set 1 inactive die, and this probably has the best thing. So we're going to go after Gaior here. Its text reads, set 1 inactive die to a face of your choice, and it gives me 7 points, so I'm a third of the way to victory. I will go ahead and spend this. This is going to give me an extra energy. Then I will spend this, so I'm going to spend 2 of those energy to upgrade my colony. And then I get this satellite, and I'm going to put it on the planet that I have the most influence on. Now, I could kind of game the system here and put it over here, which means that the solo AI player, this is going to be the 3rd planet it ever goes towards. But I'm just going to play straight up like I would against a regular multiplayer and say, all right, this is the one I'm focusing on right now. So I'm hoping to get that satellite. And you can notice the satellites are neutral color. They're all silver. So they don't really belong to any one player. Now that I've put it out there, I'm not getting any points for it. I'm just hoping that I colonize that planet before anybody else. So this last die, though, I do get 1 free reroll per turn. So we'll go ahead and reroll that one. And I got that, which is not helping me because I need the economy symbol, and this is the diplomacy symbol. So I could spend 1 energy, maybe we'll do that, to reroll this die. Alright, so I got some culture. Okay, so that's fine. That will allow me to follow the AI if it gets up there and moves a guy around and keep up with him. Okay, so now it's the solo AI's turn. They get to roll 5 dice right off the bat. And again, this is where they roll, for those of you not familiar with how the solo AI plays, they roll a die 1 at a time. They don't do rerolls, and they take those activations as the die comes out. So, all right, they gain an energy. They will move a ship. So they get 1 of their ships, and they're coming up here and joining me. All right, they will move a 2nd ship. They gain a culture. All right, and they move a 3rd ship. So this is rare. Usually I play games and the AI is really slow off the mark. But again, I am playing on hard. But the way the dice roll, the AI player has no effect on that. The hard comes into how difficult their colony actions are here against me. So that is round one, essentially. Okay, so I am back to now rolling 5 dice because I upgraded my colony last time, so I'm even with the solo AI here. Alright, so let's bring these over and take a look at them. I am definitely using this one, so I'll go ahead and spend one to advance there. I really have no use for this one unless I take flight and then use it. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll come over here and I'll go ahead and push myself to number 1. So the order that you spend these does matter. So I've spent them there, and I don't want to take my colony action right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use my free roll reroll on these 2. Alright, so I get to send out another ship. Unfortunately, I don't have one, but I do get that. So this is just going to be a wasted die because I have no energy to spend on a reroll. So I'll advance this guy to number 2, and that's my turn. So then let's go back over here to the AI. Alright, he is sending off a ship, so actually he's going to be the first one to take a shot at the super weapon. Alright, and so in this instance, for those not familiar with the solo AI rules, they get to advance any of their ships that are on one of these. So this is actually a really big move for the solo AI, and I'm actually going to spend a culture to follow him so I can stay ahead of him on this planet. Okay, he gains a culture. Alright, so this is where the hard comes in. These actions are a little harder. So he's still down here, so he's going to steal 1 energy, but I don't have one, so I don't have one to give him, so that's helpful. And then his last action is going to be send off a ship, but he doesn't have one like me. He loses that action. Okay, so back to me now. We're still at 5 dice. Alright. Lots of colony action stuff. Okay, so I definitely want to spend this one to continue on my journey on this planet here. And then I will go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3. That's going to allow me to colonize this planet. So this guy goes back, this guy goes back, and I now get this 3-point planet. Never like sliding these under here. There you go. So now, as a colony action, I can spend 2 energy to regress any 2 enemy ships 1 space. So that's okay. All right, now we refill this one. Ooh, a little mini planet. All right, that one's there. The cubes are a little slippery on these cards. Okay, and so then I'm left with this one last guy here that I'm going to use my free reroll on. All right, and it is a colony action. So I don't have 3 of either one, and I don't have 2 energy, so again, this is a wasted action on my part, but I'm on the board, so. Okay, all right, the AI is going. All right, colony action steals an energy, but doesn't have one. I don't have one. He's going to take a culture, so he advances. He's going to move, all right, this guy, so that wasn't that bad. And he's going to take a colony action. I don't have anything to steal. And he's going to gain a culture, which is going to gain him 3 bonus die rolls. So this comes back down to 0, and I'll just take 3 now and roll them 1 at a time. So he gets a culture. He gets to send his ship off, so he gets this little tiny one. And he's going to advance all 3 of these guys. So again, he's going to come here. I'm going to spend a culture to follow him here to stay ahead of him. He doesn't advance there. He advances here, and he's going to claim the super weapon. So he's gets his ship back. There's no satellites on it, so this is essentially just a 2-point victory card for him. So we'll slide that under there like that, just to remind us that he's at 2 and I'm at 3. Okay. So let's go back to our turn. So we need to fill in the super weapon. All right, this one's special ability says add a satellite to regress all ships back 2. So that's interesting. All right, I would like to be able to get another, upgrade my colony here. I have to get all the way up to there to start rolling 6 dice. So I could send off a ship. Oh. I have nothing to use for that unless I send it off first. I'm definitely going to re-roll that. So let's go ahead and take care of this. So I will colonize this planet now, which means I get this satellite. This guy comes back, and I get this card now, which allows me to use this colony action, which is pretty helpful. But the only die I was going to re-roll is the colony action. So we bring out a new planet. Regress one of your ships -1, then advance another one of your ships +1. Now what happens if my ship's just on the starting space? Does it just stay there? That would be interesting to know the answer to that. So where do I want to go? I mean, this one's almost not even worth going to. It's only worth 1 point. So I think what I'm going to do is go here anyways. I like to just go after the big cards when I am playing against the AI. So I will go ahead and spend this to advance this guy 1. And now I can, what do I want? I can actually use this to do my colony action, which can now set 1 inactive die to a die face of your choice. So we'll go ahead and set it to this one. That'll give us further down this track here. So I'm at 10, I'm halfway to victory, and they're at 2. Okay, so back to the solo AI. He is going to advance here, and it would have been nice if I could have followed him, but I don't. Okay, so he's got nobody on there. All right, again, so he's actually going to claim this planet. He's up to 3 points now. Slow and steady wins the race, though. Let's see, he's got a couple more here again. He's got nothing to advance this time. He gets an energy. And he gets to send a ship off. So he's going to, he always lands on the leftmost one, so he's going to come try and steal this one out from under me. Okay, so that's him. That wasn't too bad. All right, my turn. All right, let's gather all these up real quick. Lots of colony actions, some energy. Okay. All right, I do want to get some energy back so I can start upgrading my colony. However, right now, since he hasn't upgraded, he's going to steal my energy if I don't use it. So what do I need? What do I need? I do need this one. So we'll advance that guy there. And I do like having culture, so I think I'm actually going to re-roll all of these right now. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so we will go ahead and use this one. Boop. And I guess I will go ahead and take 2 energy. So I'm back on the board with energy. And I can't really use this one. I can't use my colony action. And I don't want to spend my energy to re-roll this just to get it right back. So that's just going to be a wasted die. So back to the AI. They are advancing. They're getting closer to upgrading their empire. Okay, so this is going to upgrade their empire. So they now get to go here. And again, we're going to choose for them the planet that they have the most influence on, which is going to be this one. They are at the 2 on this track, and they're at nothing back here. So that's going to be where their satellite goes, and that was a pretty easy decision for me. Then they're going to push on this one only. They will send a ship off to land here, and they will gain an energy. Okay, so that was them. They didn't steal my energy, so that was nice. All right. Okay, good. I've got the energy I need, although I need one of these to be a colony action. So, let's see here. Where do I want to go? I want to be at least here, and then I want one of these to be a colony action. I don't know if I really want to take off yet, although if I go there, I could steal his. I could be malicious here, come up here, and then spend this to advance one on him, maybe try and steal that satellite. Again, I have this satellite here, but this one just says regress all ships -2. So I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to spend my free reroll on these 2. And this was helpful. So this will claim me this planet. So we get that ship back. That one returns. And I'm now up to 15. And so technically this satellite counts as a VP towards the end of the game, but it doesn't count now. So I don't have 16 now. It's only if I get to 20, then that becomes 21. And I can use this to go somewhere. So why don't we just ship you off up here? Because I don't really like this super weapon, so I'd rather destroy this super weapon just so I can get an alternative. Oh yeah, this should be up here, because I did do that. Alright, so I've got the energy I need. I just need to get the colony action to be able to upgrade my empire. So, alright, the AI is still just rolling 5 dice, and now it is... ooh, and I keep forgetting that I'm getting 1 point for being at this level, so I am actually at 16, and the AI is now at 5. And instead of stealing energy, he's going after my culture, which is good, because I have nothing to steal. So he will advance energy. He will advance here. Oh, I forgot to refill this. Okay, so he's got nobody to advance on those. That again. This again. So playing against the AI all comes down to their die rolls, and so it can be very swingy, but it's a very quick game, so I don't really mind in such a short game. All right, so it's back to me. We're at 16, if I can upgrade my colony, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to spend this and spend my 3 energy to move up here. So I get this ship, and I'm also now at 15, 17. So where can I pull off a 3-point planet? Right there. Okay, so what do I need to get there? Let's go ahead and re-roll everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll all these and just try and I'm just gonna go for those symbols right there. Okay, so almost exactly the same thing. So let's see here. Oh boy, I guess we'll take the 2 energy and we will send off a ship and we'll land up here on this one. You never know, because then I could spend this to advance that one. That may be our game winner right there. So, all right, back to the AI. All right, they are red, so they advance here. They get a culture. They are stealing my culture, but I don't have any. They are gaining an energy. Oops. And they are sending off a ship, so they're going to come try and swoop this one out from under me. Okay, so let's see if we can't finish this off here. We are at 17. We need that 3-point planet. All right. Okay, so I could advance my... So maybe we can do that. Let's spend these 1, 2, and then I'll turn right around and spend them right back to advance our empire, upgrade our empire. I get this, which I will put right here. So these are all spent, and I'm now rolling 6 die on my turns, and I guess I could spend this to go here, and I don't have a ship to send out, so I guess I'll take a culture. Okay, so very close to the end game here, but we are still on the AI player's turn. Okay, so see what they're doing. They gain a culture, just like frog hopping their little cubes here. They're sending a ship off. So up here, they don't have a ship to send. They don't have, oh wait, they can gain a culture. Oh my goodness. And they will do their action, which is steal a culture from me. So they'll take this, and that is actually going to give them to the end of their thing, so they'll get 3 more dice rolls here. Alright, they gain an energy. They will advance on all of these tracks, so, uh-oh. I don't have a culture to follow them because they stole it. And they will gain an energy, so they will upgrade their empire. So boom, now they'll be rolling 6 dice. Alright, so we're each at 6 now. This is getting a little trickier. Alright, so I think... Yeah, let's see here. I don't need any of these right now. I do need these. So, let's see here. This will get me boom, boom. And I could end the game right now if so I spent these, and then I can use the dice converter to spend you, and convert you to you. That will give me this. I will claim this planet, get this back, I get these 3, and I now have, let me make sure, 3, 6, 13, 18, 21 points. Technically, I now have, since I've crossed that 20-point threshold, 24 points. So there you go. You can see that it worked out. This added a little extra flavor to it, but not much. I didn't actually use any of my satellites to power up a super weapon and use it. But it really wasn't that hard to include the solo AI in this expansion. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you have questions about this expansion, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my abilities. This is a super complicated expansion, but it did take a moment to just review the rules. So other than that, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this second review of Ultra Tiny Epic Galaxies and this little variant that you can add to your solo play. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and have a great day. Thanks.